a quick community service announcement. If you don't hit the like button, I will set Animal onto you.
Hey, going big world. It's KJ KOOL here, and want to welcome you to the fake news, where we do little research about the truth. And then we search the truth with little research. I mean, it's just our opinions, isn't it, guys? Gosh, let's go.
Oh, little Jamie Charles, hey. He's been up to no good. This kid still thinks he's a kid. And by the way, he won the Kids' Choice Awards for the most favorite male influencer. Now, he gets in a lot of trouble because he slides on into the DMs of a lot of teenagers. And then he goes, I didn't know how old they were. I'm so sorry. Next time I'll ask them for ID. James, you and I both know that you love little boys. And I don't know why, but you seem to think it's just something you can go, I didn't mean to. And then you're putting this shit on TikTok. Like, why? When your audience is like teenagers, like, I don't want to see your ass like that to teenagers. I don't know. And by the way, are you a eunuch, James? Do you think you have the power? Well, let's see what he has to say about it, hey?
So what's the tea, James Charles? Just being untouchable, sisters. Bye, sisters. Hi, sisters. Bye, girl. Girl, bye.
Wow, that was helpful. Thanks, Jamie. You didn't answer anything. You never answer anything, and when you do, you speak 1,000 miles an hour thinking people don't catch it. But I've caught it, man, and you are in big trubs, little boy.
I'm not trying to get out of anything. No matter what happened, it was unacceptable and embarrassing. I should have taken extra steps. Like to research the person I was talking to. There is no excuses. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on
George Bush?
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
See? George Bush knows. Why don't you know, buddy? Fool me once, can me fool me again. I mean, serious, palsy wowsy. One of the dumbest presidents that America's ever had is smarter than you. Take it in, digest it how you want. And by the way, why do you always dance so sexually? I know it's TikTok, but you're 21 now and you are very sexualized in everything you do. Now, you dress as a lady, you dress as a boy, you dress as a eunuch, you dress as a eunuch boy, you dress as a girl. I don't know who you are, man. I think you're just trying to appeal to every sex out there. I don't even know if you know who you are. And that's why you talk so fast, because you just are speaking verbal diarrhea to try and get out of anything, because you're a frickin' little weasel. Check out what he says 7 months ago on the Impulsive podcast. It's very telling. It's pure gold.
Like
gold.
Now, a year later, it's finally coming out that like, oh, James was innocent the entire time.
Crap, lies, fabrication, lies, all lies.
Damn straight, Rick. Lies, fabrication. That's all this boy does. He talks out, he's burp, burp. He don't fool me. He might be fooling teenagers, but he don't fool me, boy. And by the way, Jamie, it wasn't all lies. Because guess what? The truth always finds its way, man. And you've been caught out again. What's Dr. Phil say? You see one cockroach, there's another 50. That's like you with your lying. There's another 50 little boys that you've been DMing your eunuch D to. Woohoo! That's hot.
No, I mean, I think cancel culture is fucking stupid. Like, I think, first of all, to go back to what we were saying about tiptoeing, like, I think that people learn through ignorance. Like, I think that it's ridiculous to assume that everybody is just these amazing, woke, all knowledgeable people that can know every detail and all history surrounding all issues. Like, that's fucking crazy to think about. And especially like on Twitter of all places, I feel like everyone pretends like they are some holy saint and they know everything, and they never do.
Now, that is absurd.
I'm so glad that Rick agrees with me, because it is absurd. Jamie's just saying big ambiguous statements like, I mean, how am I supposed to know everything? I'm just a little baby. Well, were you taught morals? Were you taught right and wrong? Like, how come the rest of us in the world know that it is very inappropriate to have a relationship or to start a relationship of any sort with an underage kid? So don't be coming at me saying, oh, but I mean, how am I supposed to know everything? How am I supposed to be so woke? Excuses. Absurdity. That's all that comes out your little beep.
Right.
And it's crazy to hold people to that standard. Although, when you do have an audience, of course, it's important to educate yourself and to make good decisions and be a good role model and choose your words wisely, because your words do hold huge weight. But at the same time, like, no one's ever going to be perfect. And I feel like you really have to look at each situation.
Honestly, pal, what the F are you talking about? You need to look at every situation. No, you don't. You just don't involve yourself with underage kids, boys, girls, whoever. Like, I don't know who's been filling your eardrums up with a lot of BS, because the fact of the matter is your eardrums are in the gutter. Like your little heart, it's all in the gutter. Jeffers and Shane, when they called you out a year ago and you became suicidal. Why'd you become suicidal? Oh, maybe it's because it was true. And there was another 50 out there that you've probably paid off. I don't believe a word that you say, pal. I really don't. You come across as a compulsive liar with an enormous ego. And don't get me wrong. I actually thought Shane and Jeffers, grown adult men coming for an 18, 19-year-old, was a bit rough. I thought that was a bit mean because, big dudes in their 30s picking on a teenager. Yeah, it's rough. The truth has finally been revealed. You're all liars. Every single one of you. Bloody hell, man. When are we going to get some truthful people on the YouTubes? I'm truthful, and my videos removed because I speak the truths. It's a very strange world we live in, people.
Saying sorry constantly just is a bad character trait. Like, you know the people that will
it's so bad
and
and
do something minor and they're just apologizing for everything. Like, stop.
It's
stop abiding by other
really
people's
embarrassing.
life.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let's get this story straight.
Come on now, let's get this story straight, once and for all. You're a compulsive liar. You're ill. I don't even care what you are. But you are not clean and squeaky, because you know why? You've just been caught out so many times. It is incredulous. How many times can you say sorry? Logan's like, people that say sorry all the time just gets too much. Question I ask is, why are people saying sorry all the time? Maybe they're just bad eggs. Have you ever thought of that? Someone that is doing constant apologies like Mr. Shane Borsum. Freaking bad egg, man. Just like you, Jamie boy. You only say sorry when you're caught out. Like, what's up with that? If you had never been caught out, you would never have said sorry. That is a true fact. So what have you learned? You say, I try to learn from every situation. So what have you learned, Jamie boy? Have you learned that to just be a little bit more sneaky? I don't know. Snapchat's your friend though, because you know what happens in Snapchat? The photos disappear. So you can't be held accountable. But the fact is, I do believe all these teenagers, because I know what you're like. It's been said 1,000 times, and now it's starting to just get really boring and true. You're boring, actually. And you can't even hang around people your own age. You know why? Because you're freaking boring.
Ain't that a B?
I try to look at everything as a learning lesson. And I feel like, although it really sucked, I did learn so much from everything that happened and everything that has happened, not even just that particular scandal, but like everything that I've been through. And I do feel like it's made me a way stronger and smarter person.
For sure.
Why does he make out he's way stronger and he's learned from those lessons when he's actually still doing the same thing? I don't quite understand his ethos because, dude, you haven't changed. That's why I say the only thing that's changed in you is you've just got better at concealing it or paying people off. One or the other. I don't know. This is just my opinion, people. So all you little sisters out there, don't come flagging my videos because I'm allowed an opinion just as you are. And if you're fooled by this fool, then go for it.
It's weird because I'm 21, but I feel like I have the mentality and brain of like a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even tell nobody that. I wouldn't even tell nobody.
There you go, you heard it from the horse's mouth. He feels like he's a 50-year-old dude. You're not a 21-year-old dude in your thinking? Well, a 50-year-old dude preying on little teenagers? Well, that's actually a jailable offense. You should really not tell people that next time. Why are you playing with Jimmy in it? He's a 16-year-old Minecraft but the fact is, he said in one of his streams, someone's like, oh, James is in love with you, and he said, nah, I'm too old for James, and he's 16, so that's an interesting point, isn't it? Look, I don't care what James does as an adult. I don't care if he portrays himself as every sex available because he's a little sleazebag. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is, kids watch him and they love him. One of my little cousins who's 8 loves him, and he does the most inappropriate stuff I've ever seen. He just won the Children's Choice Awards for the most popular male influencer. Are you sure he's a male? I'm just saying. Dude, why do you do stuff with kids all the time? Why do you hang out with Charlie D'Amelio Emilio. Why don't you just start acting like an adult and people won't be so demented by your ways? But you don't. You have learnt nothing, what? Do you think doing a parody song, even though you're miming, to this song is appropriate for people under 15? I ask you this, Jamie, because I think it's actually pretty wrong. I don't care that you're miming the N-word, but what I do care about is this scene. What the beep were you thinking, man? Kids are watching this going, hey, what was that? I know what it is. Chris Brown beat his girlfriends and did bad stuff to him, and you're implying that. I get it. I'm an adult. What are kids thinking? Man, you really need to go to the room of mirrors. I say this a lot, but I just think a lot of influencers need to go to the room of mirrors. Stop just looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking you're beautiful. Go in there and have a good hard look at yourself and change your ways ASAP, because words are cheap, and you make them real cheap because everything you say comes back at you months later, weeks later, a day later. Everything that you say, I've learned from that experience. Well, no, you haven't, because you keep doing it and you're just a dirty little clout chaser. That's all you are, man. You don't really care about kids. You don't care what you put out there. All you care about is getting caught. And when you get caught, you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was suicidal. Nah, man. I don't even know what to say anymore. Next. Don't forget to like, and be a lot of bad bitches. I'm gonna fight the power. I will not get flagged. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Use all your little jazz hands on all the buttons. You know you make one little koala really happy. You know if you sub, let me know, because I'll send you 50 years of free good vibes. I mean, come on. That is a bloody bargain these days. Cheers, ballers.
It's a world that we're living in us. Forget the dark days of history. Yeah. Time will manifest the endless possibility. Open your eyes to see the world is darker than it seems. So keep dreaming on.